Welcome to A Crystal Tales. All you need to do is sit or lay back, close your eyes and listen to my voice. For most, the month of May signals the gentle fading of spring, longer days bathed in golden light, the whisper of warmth blooming into the lazy comfort of summer. Flowers unfurl, birds return, the world, it seems, breathes easier. But not for you. For you, May has always meant something entirely different. May means tornado season. While others welcome the month with barbecues and garden parties, you have long associated it with the violence of the skies. Your fascination began years ago in the glow of a computer screen, watching grainy footage of storm chasers skimming the edges of chaos. Wide open roads stretched before them like invitations. The clouds, monolithic and brooding, twisted and roared in the distance, and you found yourself mesmerized, entranced, haunted. Your ambition, quietly nurtured for years, has finally outgrown the screen. You are here now. You are going to see one for yourself. Months of meticulous research, hours spent poring over radar maps and decoding weather models have led you to this point. Your path has been a strange one, winding through dry academic journals and murky online forums that speak in hushed tones about places long forgotten. One name kept surfacing, a place whispered more than spoken of, a blip on no official map. It captured your imagination and refused to let go. So here you are, in the middle of rural Kansas. The fields stretch to the ends of the earth, flat and vast and colourless, like the land has been erased rather than formed. A dull, dusty brown covers everything, broken only by the occasional twisted fence post or long dead tree. The sky is a featureless blue, fading into a distant haze so smoothly that it's impossible to tell where the earth ends and the air begins. The silence is thick, absolute. There are no birds, no insects, no distant hum of life. You feel it in your bones first, the eerie stillness, the uncanny quiet. It is not peace, it's a warning. According to the deepest corners of the forums you frequented, this is where it began. The first storm, and where, some believe, it never ended. They call it the Whispering Storm. They say it moves without pattern, without purpose, returning to the same fields once every few years, but only when it chooses. Its centre is said to cradle a tornado like no other, an ancient thing that has taken countless lives, not with fury, but with something far colder, older, as if the wind itself remembers and is angry. Some claim to have heard voices carried on the wind as it approaches, soft, unintelligible murmurs that claw at the edge of understanding, whispers begging to be listened to. You don't believe in the legends, not really, but there's something about this place, the way the light seems a little too pale, the way the air tastes faintly of metal, the way your skin feels stretched a little too tightly over your bones. You drop your backpack onto the cracked soil and sit, letting the silence settle around you like a second skin. You retrieve your phone and check the radar app again. There, blobs of red, orange and green swirl far to the west, still distant, still waiting, but they're moving toward you. It's hard to reconcile what you see on the screen with what surrounds you. There is no wind, no movement, not even a breeze, just stillness, heavy and expectant. The kind of stillness that makes your ears ring and your heart thump a little too loudly. But isn't that the saying, the calm before the storm? You smile to yourself. The thought should make you uneasy, but it doesn't. Not really. You've waited too long, you've come too far. All you want is to see one, just one, a single swirling column of air, even a small one, a baby tornado, something to mark the end of the chase and the beginning of something new. You tell yourself you don't expect to find the whispering storm. You don't believe it, not truly, but there's a part of you deep down that listens to the silence and wonders. Because silence like this isn't natural. It feels like a breath held. It feels like waiting. And far off, too faint to be certain, you think, just maybe, you hear something in the wind. There are no roads out here, no tracks, no tire ruts, no whispers of civilization. You left your car miles behind, tucked behind a skeletal grove of wind-worn trees. Out here you're truly alone. No chasers, no curious locals, just you and the sky. You glance at your radar again. The storm system is evolving, colours deepening, blooming like bruises across the map. Reds pulse inside malformed swaths of yellow and sickly green, each shade more aggressive than the last. They're slow, but they're coming, drawing near like something thinking, something hunting. The line where land meets sky still shimmers in that endless aching blur, but you notice a subtle darkening, a shade, a shift, not yet ominous, not quite, but it's changing. The air is thick now, clinging to your skin like damp silk. There's a particular heaviness in it, a weight that speaks of imbalance. You recognize the signs. You've learned to read the air like a scripture. This kind of heat, heavy and wet, is the breath of the storm inhaling, drawing warm moisture up into its growing belly, forming that telltale low-pressure cradle. Everything is in place. Everything feels right. You lower yourself slowly to the ground and lean back against your pack, letting it cradle you like an old friend. You close your eyes, not in sleep, but in surrender. You wait. Stillness enfolds you. The anticipation that once trembled in your limbs begins to melt, draining into the dry, cracked soil beneath your legs. The tall grass stirs faintly in the windless heat, brushing against your boots with gentle insistence, a lullaby of blades and breath. And then, from far off, so distant you almost wonder if you imagined it, a low rumble of thunder. You open your eyes. Out here sound travels like a ghost. Thunder rolls over the open plains long before its parent storm arrives. A distant drumbeat, a warning, or a welcome. You rise slowly to your feet. Before you, an immense curved wall of cloud hangs low over the land. It is thick and unbroken, its leading edge smeared a charcoal grey that deepens, somehow both beautiful and dreadful, into a rich bruised purple near the horizon. You step forward, compelled by instinct. You will not watch this through a screen. This moment is meant for your eyes, your memory, your soul. The storm is growing, swelling, consuming the sky with every breath. Lightning crackles at odd angles across the clouds, erratic and fleeting, like nervous twitches under the skin of something alive. Overhead, you can see smaller clouds being drawn in, spiraling towards the main cell like moths to a flame, feeding it, fattening it. A walled cloud unfurls near the storm's centre, massive and deliberate, and slowly it begins to turn. You feel it then, that breathless, disbelieving thrum in your chest. It's real. The legend is real. The whispering storm is coming. You pull your phone from your pocket with hands that no longer feel entirely like your own. The radar confirms what your senses already knew. A monstrous cell is forming directly ahead. The coloured blotches deepen, green for rain, red for violent turbulence, and now purple. hail, and there, hook echo, that distinctive shape curling on the edge of the storm's mass like a claw. Your pulse skips. The radar screen is suddenly boxed in bold red. A tornado warning has been issued. Something is about to be born. Not just wind, not just weather, but something old. And it's coming straight for you. With practiced urgency, you unzip your pack and retrieve a padded jacket, the material thick and stiff in your hands, lined to absorb the punishing strike of hailstones. You shrug it on despite the oppressive heat, already feeling sweat bloom beneath the layers. If the predictions are correct, if the hail is truly softball-sized, it will be worth every single drop of sweat. Next, the helmet, matte black, scuffed from years of disuse. It slips snugly over your head with a muffled click. Feels strange, alien, but comforting. A final layer of armour before the world begins to shift. You've prepared for this. A thick foam-covered board packed tight into your bag lies ready to be pulled over your head should the storm turn violent. You slide your phone into your jacket pocket and crouch low once more, becoming smaller, more grounded. Lightning has begun to stitch the sky with growing intensity, and you know better than to stand tall beneath its reach. The breeze that had once whispered now pulls at the tall grass, pushing it sideways. The wind has found its rhythm, restless, unrelenting, and the sky above responds. The clouds spin faster now, like something has begun stirring from sleep. You've never seen motion like this, never imagined it could be so fluid and immense all at once. The once smooth underbelly of the storm has changed. It boils now, the base of the cloud mass bulging with strange, lumpy formations that pulse and writhe like muscle beneath skin. The entire sky is turning, as though stirred by a vast, invisible hand. Light dims. The world becomes a deeper shade of grey. You smell the rain before you feel it, a sharp metallic tang in the air laced with ozone. Thunder rolls again, deeper and closer, followed almost instantly by jagged bursts of lightning that tear through the cloud like cracks in a shell. Then the first drops fall, soft at first, almost polite. But quickly the rainfall intensifies. The drops strike the ground in a chaotic rhythm, multiplying, gaining speed and force until you're surrounded by the roar of it, a torrential curtain that pounds the earth like a waterfall flung sideways. You mutter to yourself, low and steady, "Not wrapped, please, not rain wrapped." A tornado shrouded in rain is the killer you can't see coming. But the legends are clear. Every story, every hushed recounting of the whispering storm speaks of something visible, a towering funnel, a wrathful and wild, dancing across the plains like some ancient god returned to the land. It will not hide, not this one. Then a sharp, concussive sound echoes in the din. The hail has arrived. You hunch lower and lift your backpack over your helmet, bracing as icy stones the size of fists begin to hammer the world around you. They explode on contact, each one bursting apart like shrapnel. The air is filled with the sound of destruction, snapping, cracking, shattering. The ground around you turns white in moments, pelted and bruised. But mercifully, it passes. The hail fades as swiftly as it came, leaving a silence that rings in your ears. You lower the pack and rise slowly, blinking up at the sky. It looks wounded. The clouds are a swollen, swirling bruise across the heavens, violet, black and slate, all blending and bleeding into each other. Even as an amateur, you know what you're seeing. You feel it in your marrow. Something is about to happen. A section of the cloud lows before your eyes, smooth at first, then tightening, narrowing, a bowl-shaped structure turning, spinning down from the sky. This is it. You stop breathing, not from choice but instinct. Awe and fear twist in your chest like roots. The funnel lowers, deliberate and slow like the tip of a dagger drawing closer to the flesh. Lower still, and then it unravels, dissolves, as though the sky has changed its mind. You blink, stunned. The storm doesn't pause. It surges forward, quick and restless, sweeping away across the plains as if you were never part of its plan. No funnel, no fury, just wind and shadow fleeing west. No, it can't be over, not like this. You rise to your feet, watching the storm shrink into the horizon. A hollow fury builds in your chest. All those months, the maps, the models, the endless nights spent squinting at radar images and handwritten notes. You could have stayed home. You could have stayed safe. Your jaw clenches. You open your mouth to curse the sky. And then you hear it. A sound. Low at first, like leaves stirring where no tree grows. It hums and rustles at once, rising and falling, impossible to pin down. The pitch shifts strangely, pulling at the edges of your hearing. The air warms suddenly, not gently, but unnaturally, like stepping into the breath of a huge and hungry beast. The scent of earth, torn earth, fills your nose. Grass ripped apart, soil flung open. Then the wind hits you, a violent shove between your shoulder blades. You stagger, nearly falling to your knees. You turn, and it's there. Not forming, formed. A perfect cone, slate grey and spinning with silent authority. It moves with purpose, gliding across the ground like it belongs there. The tornado's base devours the field, dragging dry soil and broken grass into its vortex. Dust rises, swallowed whole. The wind screams now, hurling gravel and stinging blades of grass against your skin. You shield your face, teeth clenched against the bite of it. But something's wrong. The sound, it's not right. It isn't the roar of rushing wind, it's something else. Beneath the howl, led into the noise like a hidden track, there are voices. Not one, but many. Soft, mournful, strangled, whispered, screamed. You freeze. A chill spreads across your skin despite the heat crawling along your spine. You try to move, to back away, but the air has turned treacherous, pulling and pressing all at once. You can barely take a step before you're halted by something you can't see. The wind pushes against your chest while the pressure behind you tugs at your back, insistent and cold, like invisible hands trying to reel you in. Panic claws at your throat. You drop to the ground. You've read it somewhere, low as you can, flat against the earth. That's what they say, as if flattening yourself can somehow make you invisible to the storm. The scent of grass grows stronger, ripped open, bleeding green into the air. You press your palms into the dirt. You dig in. But it isn't enough. The wind howls louder and the voices with it, wailing, screaming, calling. Not clear, but close. They're all around you now, voices without bodies, echoes of lives that once were. You know them, even though you've never heard them before. You know. The lost ones, the missing, the ones who vanished when the whispering storm passed through and were never seen again. The ones the storm kept. You dig harder, clawing at the earth as your body begins to slide inch by inch across the ground, as though the planet itself is surrendering you to the sky. And then, you're airborne, lifted like a feather, effortless, inevitable. You rise into the whirling dark, the world spinning beneath you, the land already growing distant. Your limbs dangle, your voice tears from your throat. No, No, no! The air strips the words away, rips them from your lungs, feeding them to the storm like an offering. The sounds become a whisper, then a scream, then nothing. And just before everything fades to black, you hear it. Your own voice, joining the others, forever lost in the storm's endless, tortured quiet.